Hi guys. I'm going to show you a little bit of a tour of the internal privacy management tool. It's sort of a quick guide to all of the sections. For the more detailed video that actually runs through everything, breaks it down, and explains the process step by step, it's a bit longer, and you can also find that linked around the site or in the help section under videos. But for now, I'm just going to show you how the tool works. So right now, I'm on the internal privacy management page. To get there, you can just click on products and services, internal privacy management, and just click on explore, and it'll take you straight to this page. And we can just click on start generating. And what this does is it pops up a window that allows you to create a new GDPR project. You can create a new one or convert an existing site into a project. So if you have a pro account and you have multiple sites, you can just choose which one of these sites or apps you want to convert into a project. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to create a new one. So we're going to call this business beautiful t-shirts. And we're just going to click on start. And right away, that takes us to this page where we can add areas. So an area is any subdivision with your data processing where the activities are the same, as it says here, where the activities are homogeneous. So that can apply to, let's say, a physical store. Maybe you process data from the physical store in the same way. So that'll be an area. Your e-commerce website can be an area. Employees might be one area because you process all employee data in a similar fashion. So really quickly, we're just going to add a website. And we're just going to click on start generating. And so it adds it, and if you look at the left here, you will see this area has been added. So we can get into that, add services and things like that, but what we're going to do is we're going to add another custom area. And this time not a website, but we're going to add the physical store because we want to keep records related to the data processing that takes place there. So this has now also been added here. And lastly, perhaps we'd like to add employees. So really quickly, if you look at the side here, you can see that you can click into either members or edit. So if we click on members, what we can do for each area here is we can assign roles. Controllers, processors, members of the organization that are involved in processing. So processors are external entities that are assigned the role of processing user data on behalf of the data controller. So you can add that in here. Also, you can add the subjects, which in this case, relating to employees, would actually be employees. Members of the controller organization that might be processing employee data may be the HR department, for example. And we don't have any external processors. Or perhaps we have something like a payroll consultant, so we can add that there. If you need to add a new member, you can simply click here and add manage members. You just click on add and fill out the details and hit save. So for now, we're just going to save this. So these members are now added, and if we click on edit, which we can do for any one of these areas, we can now add a service. And in this example, we're going to add payroll. Now you can still create a custom service as with all of the generator backends where you can add a service, you can also create a custom service. Now here, as you can see, there are some additional fields added in, specifically related to the GDPR. and you're going to want to add all of these and then fill them out as it applies. So we have available rights, retention policy, this is required also, any security measures that you might have in place, and that sort of thing, as well as a label and description of the type of data that you're collecting. And you can also use that to sort of fill out the purpose, any additional details related to the purpose. Okay, as you can see, these are sort of already pre-filled because we added these members to this particular area, so it's already added in here. And you can do further customizations as needed. When you're done with that, you can simply just save changes, save and close. We also have an add alternate button here, which allows you to basically copy this form for another scenario. So if, for example, we're doing an email newsletter and one is geared towards advertising and the other one is based on behavioral campaigns or like follow-up contacts or anything like that, we can simply add an alternate and keep it within the same service, but also have the information for the two different types of processing that fall within that service. For more information about this, please have a look at the longer video where we go into detail and we explain all of this. And lastly, we're just going to click on this area, which is actually our site area, and it looks a little bit different from these other areas, and that's because it is a website and you are required to be compliant with the law. And in that case, because it's a new site that we've added, you absolutely must have a privacy policy. So if you go on Generate Now, it's going to give you the same interface that you usually get when you're creating a privacy policy. However, the fields that we looked at before are now added to each service that you add. So you now have the ability to fill that information out as it relates to your project and being compliant with GDPR. In this case, we can simply just add a newsletter. And if we click on it, you can see that the new fields also show up here, and we can just add it and edit it as needed. So we haven't added anything, so we can't save and close. You're required to add the details. And that's basically it for this video, because it is running a little bit long and we want to keep it short. When you're done with that, you simply click on Manage and Embed, and it's going to take you right back to your project page where you can edit members and other details for your site area.